Hey Brooke, welcome back to a very sexy and sultry, apparently, covered dish. Welcome to our silver and gold subscribers. And if you would like to be platinum subscribers like Joseph and my dad, maybe watch the show more.
Yeah, just actually watch the fucking show more.
Just tune
Girl,
in.
happy Valentine's Day. You look adorable.
Thank you. I have worn this dress on the dish since episode 8, Relationship Beefs.
Was that also Valentine's Day?
No, we were just talking about fighting
Oh.
in relationships.
So is that your go-to Valentine's Day dress?
This is my only Valentine's Day dress.
No. I wore red pants today and I forgot it was Valentine's Day.
What a fun discovery.
I know, I was super annoyed. I was telling everybody, don't get the wrong idea. I hate this day.
But then you catch yourself in the mirror and you go, still got it.
Yeah. Girl, what are you drinking tonight?
Scotch.
Oh, I'm changing it up, Joseph. And I know he's not watching. And I am doing a Beaujolais.
He's not watching because he's got plans. A Beaujolais.
How dare he? Yeah, I've been really into French wines lately.
Nice. New pick of the season, huh?
It is. It's a new pick of the season.
Mm.
But you know what? This is the problem with these French wines is they're like made in France, but then shipped through Napa. So like the cheaper ones are shipped through Napa, and brought in and then you know what I mean? And then sold out through Napa, so they're not as authentic. So this is like a Napa French wine. It's very weird.
Now, is there something about the process of the shipping that alters them, or is it just they've been in someone else's warehouse?
I think they've been, and I only want them in my warehouse. You know what I mean?
I think I do. I'm not sure. Sometimes the innuendo goes over my head. I'm very literal.
It's true.
I'm very guttural. Not guttural. I'm very guttural. I like to move from the diaphragm. I was trying to say I'm very gullible.
You are very gullible. It's one of the things I love about you. The list is long, girl.
Yeah.
But that is one of the things.
You literally
could, I love it.
You literally could be like, especially if you tell me something bad has happened to you, I will believe it and I will be like, oh my god, do you need anything? What's the plan? That's also just not a nice thing to do to somebody, but I will believe you. I don't like
that shit. Yeah, I don't like that shit. I don't like practical joke stuff or oh my god, I'm sad, someone died. And it's did they? I don't like that stuff. I also find it childish. That's weird.
Yeah, well, I don't like April Fool's Day. That's never been my scene.
I hate April Fool's Day except my dad who just look out the window in Buffalo, New York and be like, oh my god, it's snowing. And it was April 1st. And he'd be like, oh my god, it is. And he'd be like, April Fool's. And we're like, oh. You know what I mean? It's
right. I don't mind a whoopee cushion. That's fine.
Right. It was the verbal whoopee cushion.
The verbal whoopee cushion. Which is the name of your third comedy album.
Yes. You can't have it all.
Yeah. That's Shattered Dreams. Oh, that's the name of my second memoir, Shattered Dreams.
So, tell me, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight is all about special occasions.
Mm-hmm. What do you do when you want to make it special?
I think obviously things have changed from when I was younger to when I am now, but I think we have this gorgeous thing that happens with us where we discover these beautiful intersections of our childhood that exist and we didn't realize it. So you weren't raised an oppressively religious environment and I was, but right, so we
one of the few things we don't share.
One of the few things.
Mm-hmm.
We both were the cheerleaders for the neighborhood soccer team without consent. They did not want us to be there.
Yes, you have read my book.
Yeah, yes, so we both did that.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things we stumbled upon is that we both had etiquette classes as children.
Yes, oh my god.
For special occasions.
Yes.
Which, for the record, in my childhood, weren't common. It's not I was a debutante and I needed it. You know?
Yeah, we had an etiquette class leading up to, I forget if it was homecoming. It was middle school, so it was leading up to a significant, which I of course put in this isn't real quotes, but
Wait, how old were you?
Oh, 13 or 12 or something. Yeah, so baby. And what we did was we were paired up, boys and girls, because that's what you did for everything. One of the
Obviously.
Yeah, one of the many microaggressions for a non-binary person growing up in society. So
That and square dancing. Did you do square dancing in gym class? We did.
no, we didn't do square dancing.
Oh, I'm more white than you are.
Apparently, we're missing out. We did some other crazy shit in gym class, but we didn't do. We surely didn't do square dancing. Girl, wow.
Anyways, keep going. Sorry. So there was a special occasion coming up.
Yeah, I was paired off with some girl who also didn't want to be there. You know, nobody wanted this. This was inflicted on children. And we were told that we were going to learn about etiquette in a sort of like 1 to 2 hour lecture. Yes, very open the door, open the door for the ladies and pull out the chair, and then when they sit down you sort of like push it in slightly, maybe don't like slam the door in their face, like just basic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, oh well, we're going to take you on sort of a practicum, we're going to put theory to practice. And do you know where they told us we were going to go for this? They took us to the Golden Corral. The height of fine dining. The Golden Corral. Which is buffet style, by the way. So it's not like we didn't even have to go through all of the things about ordering and like table manners.
What would you even need to do in a buffet situation?
I'm so glad you asked, Brooke, because there were rules that were part of the curriculum, and the one that sticks out to me the most was how to eat peas. And so it was like this interesting mix of like family style buffet dining and like Mrs. Beaton's rules for like, high class living from the 18th century. So here I am.
Right.
Taking my peas and balancing them on the back of the fork between the tines.
The fork prongs, yeah. So continental dining is prongs down. And at the Golden Corral, we only do continental dining.
How continental.
So it's prongs down, and you're trying to balance peas on the top.
Which I think we can agree is impossible.
That's why everyone was so thin back then. And all the lead in the makeup. But mostly the peas. So
and the death, but yeah.
And the death, and the death. Here's the catch. Here's what I would have done at Golden Corral. I would have put the peas in the mashed potatoes to make like a paste. This is the shit they don't teach you. You got to be innovative.
That's big brain shit right there. That's
I know.
Why weren't you teaching our class? I feel cheated and deprived.
Because I was 15.
Yeah. The other thing I remember was how to serve yourself butter, and I was very like panicked about which knife is the one that goes in the shared butter, and then like you put it on your bread plate, and then you switch to your knife.
Your butter knife.
Your butter knife. Yeah, so the butter server and then the butter knife, and then you spread and then you eat.
Yeah, individual pieces.
Yes.
So you tear off a piece of bread, you individually butter that piece, and then you eat it.
I'm just realizing right this moment, like, how much you know about table manners. And it's frankly, it's a little sexy. Like, this is a new thing I'm discovering about you that I didn't know. Like, you definitely know which one is the sugar spoon and which one is the melon spoon. You know what I mean?
I mean, come on, give me something harder.
Oh,
Seriously.
Speaking of special occasions, do you remember the story about the strawberry huller?
Okay, yeah. I think you had come for me on like Obscure Appliances Quarterly, which is a magazine she and her partner absolutely subscribe to. But when we lived together, this is off tangent, but it's very relevant.
Yes.
When we lived together, her and her partner would go on these, like, when I say wild goose chases of a day, like very wild goose chase. Like they'd have a very specific thing they were looking for, and they'd be like, we're not coming home until we find it. So you ventured out one Saturday morning at like 9 a.m. and you're like, we're off to find a strawberry huller.
Yeah, so of course we're going to start at Sur La Table because you have to.
Nobody knows what a strawberry huller is. You have to explain it before you go in.
No, I refuse. We're glossing right over that. I'm not going to say another word. No, so let me just tell you, one of the many reasons I love my partner, he also appreciates matching china the way that I do.
And obscure appliances.
But he also, yeah, and obscure appliances, and he also knows, like, Mrs. Beaton's rules for high class, you know what I mean? Like, he also has
He does.
that book
I bet he
memorized.
could eat so many peas off the back of a fork.
I bet he could, and I would love to see it.
Just
But
dozens of peas.
this is a thing I actually think that you share with him more than I do after hearing
That's true, that's true, that's true.
your encyclopedic immediate recall of, like, appropriate table etiquette. It's wild. I love it. But anyway, so if you've ever tried to hull a strawberry with a paring knife, or, you know, God forbid, like a steak knife or something else. Like,
if you're trailer trash, is what I'm saying.
Then you know that there's a lot of waste, because you're basically taking off the top of the berry, like the berry flesh, along with the leaves. So it's just very wasteful. So if you have this device called a strawberry huller, and yes, it is for this one purpose and one purpose only. It's like a pincer, a metal pincer, small, that you stick into the strawberry, and then you grip and twist and pull, and it takes, like, the minimal amount of flesh out of the berry. And it's fast.
It's kind of it's like with the thing you use for a pap smear, how it spreads you open. It's just turn it in. If you could undo the duck lips on the pap smear thing and turn them in, that's a strawberry huller, but smaller.
The speculum, whatever that's called.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Girl, you know, etiquette is a real journey for me. I remember my mom told me pretty much I was never going to land a job unless I knew how to eat soup.
Oh, the soup. We've talked about this before. I love the soup thing, which I got wrong, by the way. The trivia question about which direction you pull your soup spoon.
Yeah, because it's antithetical. It makes no fucking... The people who invented etiquette were not hungry. Ever.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a lot of
pressure. They got those shots.
Especially at special occasions, there's a lot of pressure to do it well. You know, to eat correctly, or to not make too much of a scene, or like it depends on the closer you are to somebody. I feel like that stuff becomes less important, and you can just be comfortable around each other. But when you are first getting to know somebody, you're like, wow, I really do not want them to know that I'm a literal raccoon eating garbage.
I think, like, one of the things that really I took from my from my youth in like special occasions, and was raised with, that I've left in my 20s, is the need to bring a plus one. Because I was always looking for the perfect plus one at special occasions, and I think growing up you always, like, had that. And I had some real doozies.
Well, and then you found me, and you realized you don't need any other plus ones ever again, because it's me.
Oh, yeah, just to clarify, I'm not allowed to actually bring anyone I marry to my family weddings. Like, it has to be Eileen. It's just... I brought one woman. I was like 20, I was dating this woman, and I brought her to, shouts to Jamie, my friend up in Rochester, New York, one of my really, really good friends, her wedding, and I was a bridesmaid. And that's a lot of pressure for a special occasion, because then the date is not really with you. And I shouldn't have brought a date.
Well, because, like, you're working as a bridemaid, like, you've got stuff to do.
Right, you are working, yeah. And of course, I find out later this woman who I thought was, like, the love of my life was trying to score ecstasy from, like, the underage maid of honor all night while hitting on her. And for the record, the bride didn't tell me until after she broke up with me. And she's like, we didn't like her anyways. And I was like, shut up.
Why didn't you tell me about that? They were, like, so afraid to hurt your feelings that they didn't think to tell you that this person that you invited in good faith was, like, actually engaging in bad behavior.
And I will say, like, I had just come out in this friend group, and I think they were just like, is this what girls do? They date girls? Like, I just think they were, like, trying to be, like, an ally and supportive.
Yeah. Does anyone have cocaine?
You know?
Gal pals.
That's hip-hop. The best Bob's Burgers episode, quoted by me on the Valentine's Day episode, which is also a Valentine's Day episode of Bob's Burgers, called Bob Actually. And if you haven't seen it, you must.
I was just that meme just now of that lady with all the math floating in front of her. Like, I didn't know where we were going, but yes, I love that.
Girl, who's the worst date you brought to a special occasion? What's, like, a horror story? Do you have one, or?
Well, I'm trying to think. Like, thankfully, my horror stories have not been around special occasions, but also my before my current partner of almost 12 years, which is nuts. I have been in very like short stints with people. It hasn't lasted that
Yeah.
long, so I don't have any nightmare situations of like taking
Right.
somebody home and them just being a
Yeah,
total nightmare. You know?
that's fair. That's fair.
Thank God.
Can I just go back? When is your anniversary?
Oh, so this is fun. It's actually really close to Valentine's Day. It is like the last week in February because it was right
Ooh,
before my birthday. So yeah, like the last week of this month it'll be 12 years.
wow. I also didn't realize your relationship is the same age as Peony.
Oh, Penny.
Who just switched
So
to
much
senior dog food.
so much happened in 2011. Oh, she just switched to senior dog food. Oh,
Yeah.
my little
We're
golden
entering a new
buckeye.
phase. We're entering a new phase of life, and we're all fine with it.
Oh,
So
I'm gonna
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
doing well.
I'm gonna move to the most exquisite Marigold Hotel and live my best life with Judy Dench.
First of all, she is already retired.
Mm.
She's in Florida, girl. She
Oh
living
yeah,
out her golden years.
she did the Ohio to Florida pipeline.
She surely did, but she moved to the Superior East Coast.
Oh, mm. We don't talk about
All
that
the
other
Ohioans
coast.
moved to the West Coast. I went on a date with this girl in Ohio. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I don't even know if she watches. Anyways, she like we was our first date, and
Well,
she was
all you've
like, "Oh my
said is
god,
that
like
she's a girl from Ohio, so as long as you like keep it together and don't reveal her identity, I think we're gonna be okay.
well, she's in sales." No, I'm just kidding. And she like was our first hangout, and she's like, "Oh my god, you know, I want to do more than anything." And I was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What is it? Like, you know, I don't know, schoolgirl spanking. Like, what do you got?" And she's
Spelunking, yeah.
like, "Retire in Tampa."
Ooh, oh, you're bad. You are bad.
It's like, all right, this isn't gonna work out.
I think that's
Well,
really tacky.
and then you know what I did? I ordered the soup.
Mm. And you pulled the soup spoon away from your mouth instead of toward.
Mm-hmm.
See? I'm learning.
Girl, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I do fine.
However,
I do fine for myself now. If you wear enough glitter to
however,
dinner, people don't notice if you have a couple faux pas, you know?
however you eat soup is the right way.
Mm.
That's what I'm going to tell people.
Mm.
I love special occasions where I can go with you. We had a great time at Nikki and Gabe's wedding.
Yep.
We had a great time at my family wedding in Madison, where we got roasted, by the way, at a gay bar in Madison for living in Columbus, Ohio. And he's like, "Where are you all from?" And we're like, "Columbus." And he's like, "My condolences." And I was like, "You're slinging beers at 2 p.m. at a bar in Madison, Wisconsin."
Right. We're both doing fine. This is not a competition.
Right. And if it was,
we both lose. I was gonna say we both lose.
Girl, how do you pick the perfect outfit for a special occasion? You're so good at that.
They just find me. But thank you. Remember when this reminds me of when we saw each other in passing at Barcelona for Christmas dinner? You remember that? I desperately, we were like singing to each other like somewhere out there. I'm having dinner with my family. Yes.
Who was I with? Was I with my ex's family?
I think so. I think you were with yes, I think you were with you were, I remember. You were with your ex's family and I was with my in-laws. And they don't watch the show. We can talk about it. It was not fun. And we were going
Well, I mean, no family dinner, no like holiday dinner with extended family is fun. Like it's never fun.
Yeah.
That's just never how they're described.
Mm-hmm.
You had a whole poinsettia in your hair.
That was what See, you knew, girl. You remembered. That was the night where I really feel like, regardless of all the other circumstances, I really nailed that outfit. I was in a red velvet wiggle wrap dress, and I had a poinsettia that was far too big to have any business being on my head, but I did it anyway. I said, you know what? Not without my wife.
I loved the whole look. Was this the night the in-law like made a comment about someone's name?
Yeah, and the comment
Oh, it was
was,
my ex,
yeah, it
right?
was, it was.
Okay. Well, like breaking news, my ex is named Duck. Not that complicated. Keep going.
Okay, I didn't want to be the one to, yeah. So, and it was just like, because
Yeah.
they were just being judgy about the name. It wasn't complicated, but it was insensitive. And, um, that, yeah. And then I found myself in that moment having to do the work of like, what are you, like, why are you sitting here judging somebody's name? Like, it's none of your business.
Right. And like that's the kind of work you as a trans woman trying to enjoy your martini want to do. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, have I told the story on this channel? I love saying that like we have a channel that anyone is paying attention to, but it makes me feel good, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
As you
Um,
should.
yeah, I don't know if I've told the story on this channel about being in Louisville and being dressed the fuck up. By the way, I looked great, and
I love that outfit on
walking.
you.
I'm walking with a cocktail glass towards the bathroom, and someone says, "Wow, you look fantastic," and I was like, "Thank you." And then as I'm turning back to continue on my business, they were like, "Are you a transsexual?" And I know I just everything clenched. I don't think my butthole has ever been tighter. Pelvic floor snatched.
Whose Valentine's Day is it, girl?
And I froze and I just slowly turned on a pedestal to look at this person, you know what I mean? Like in slow motion. And then we found ourselves deep in like social justice work because I was so like incensed that this would happen in what I thought would be a safe space that I was like, oh no, we're not letting that one go. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk it out.
It's the entitlement for
Mm-hmm.
me. It's the entitlement of in a gay space, because obviously he also probably didn't like the word queer, but in a gay
Oh no,
space.
he surely didn't. By the way. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know, team queer, gender isn't real, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, whoa, 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 you gotta back up. Because in my day, there were boys and girls, and now people doing all this other stuff. Like, it was bad. It was really bad.
I am like always telling, I'm like, trans people have been around forever. Trans people have been around forever. This notion that trans people are new is like, it's so frustrating in our community, in the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
I'm specifically talking
Yeah.
about. What the
Well,
fuck?
and on top of that, when there is this sort of like, you say, oh, I don't identify as a man or woman, and they're like, I don't get it. You have to pick one. And I'm like, no, I actually don't. And the thing is, you feel like I understand that you're going through this thing, and you feel like I am obligated to explain this to you, and I'm here to tell you that I'm really not. I'm just like I'm already doing it. I don't need validation for doing it. I'm just that's who I am, and you can either try to come along with me on that and allow me to explain it to you, or you can just like just not, and I don't have to waste any more time or effort trying to make that happen for you, you know? It's frustrating. That wasn't a special occasion, but it became one because it was the first day of the rest of his life. I was like, we're not done with this conversation. Oh, you know what really upset me?
Trans sibling though?
Yeah, yeah. So this was the whole thing is that his brother had just come out as trans. And he was like, oh, well, I'm just so used to like him being my little sister and blah, blah. And I was like, I get that, but you're making this all about you. And it's really about your brother. It was like, first of all, I'm going to use he, him, and say your brother because you're switching back and forth a lot. And that's like not a thing we want to do in this moment. Um, I get that you're still like coming to terms with it and this is new for you, but like you need to do this work on your own and not make this your sibling's problem. You know? Just so much trans 101 that I didn't expect to do on a night where I was just there to like hang out with some people I care about and have a drink and like you want to take your armor off. This is the thing about queer spaces, right? You want to take your armor off and just be with who you we have this like we are family. We are family. And then it turns out like, oh no, but we're not though. I mean, it depends on how you define family, right? Like family will frustrate you and we have differences of opinion and at the end of the day what links us is this shared history and experience and what so I get that. Family is already complicated. Even queer family, even chosen family. But I don't think that we should have to do trans 101 work on the way to the bathroom at a gay bar. And that is the hill I'll die on.
I think that's not very revolutionary, and it's also revolution. But I think it's also like these are the spaces that like have always had a hierarchy.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I'm reminded this space isn't for me. You know? And it's like you don't really get a break.
Yeah.
But I love that metaphor of taking your arm off. I think that's one of the things, like, you know, finding queer spaces and the death of the queer bar and everything else, being back in Columbus for Queer Bomb in January and being in Slammers. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh, like there's so few spaces down here that aren't like gay, cis, male centric.
Yeah.
And I think like I really miss God, like not even a queer space, but like, I mean, you know, Slammers is also pretty specific, but they've removed with the new management the like girls, 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 you know, no shoes, no shirt, but you're a girl. Cool. Like weird fucking misogynist. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Remember that sign they had? It was like, no shirt, you're a man, get out. No shirt, you're a girl, free drinks. And it's like, you know, they've removed all that stuff and they've made it like more just inclusive. I can't find another word.
That is the word. Yeah. I totally. And I think they're with some predominantly gay male spaces, it's like, well, I know that you know that I know that I'm supportive, so I'm allowed to say these things that are technically insensitive because I'm just edgy. You know, there's this entitled is the right word. It's like I'm entitled to know what's really going on with you. Like, what's all this? You know, this sort of like judginess that's supposed to be kind of funny, and it's tired. It's really tired.
It's tired. And I think like I also like I'm just here to say, like, if you're in a gay bar and you think this is the time to play devil's advocate, I promise you it's not. Like I know it. I know it 100%. It's not.
Yeah.
You know, because we all need spaces to rest.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know that I didn't have to do that extra work of, like, talking this person through that, but I was like, if I don't work to let this go, like, I had to unspool this within myself, you know? It had already happened, and I was like, we have to talk through this, or I'm going to leave this space feeling, like, pessimistic. Like, oh, you know, nothing's going to change, and these microaggressions are going to keep happening and whatever, but, like, somehow we have to force ourselves to get through that resistance and that initial, like, I don't like that, and then we got to force ourselves to talk about it so that we can at least come out on the other side. Like, maybe we push the needle a little bit for this one person, and then they'll talk to other people. Maybe, I hope, like, he'll have conversations with his brother that will go better than the ones that have already happened. Special occasions. Every occasion is a special occasion if you just be really intense about it.
Every occasion is special when you are friends with Miss Eileen. Miss Eileen.
Some of us don't have any other setting. You know, people ask me all the time, like, when I get dressed up in, like, burlesque drag, whatever you want to call it, elevation. When you get dressed up and people are like, oh, you know, I would never have an occasion to wear that. The big takeaway for me is you are the occasion. The occasion could be any moment you want it to be.
You are the occasion. Girl, that's like beautiful. I don't even have better closing remarks than that. You are the occasion. Be the occasion you wish to see in the world.
Yeah, you know that whole thing about build the world you want to be in?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard this great. That. I have another takeaway. I'm full of them tonight. This one's on the house, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary family. It was spend your free time building the life you want instead of escaping the life you have.
Wow.
I love that. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And then also sometimes in my free time, I get Chipotle and rewatch Bob's Burgers episodes. It's a balance.
Life is a balance.
Because that is the
life is a delicate dance. And like the song that played in the wedding shop boutique on Sunday, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance.
I hope you dance. I don't even remember how it goes.
That's it. I hope you dance.
Yeah.
I was really hoping Butterfly Kisses came on after that.
Aw. I like Kiss Me by Lisa Loeb.
Mm.
Classic.
Whatever, that's a bop. Lisa Loeb was a total queer-coded babe.
A bop and a babe.
Ugh.
All right, well.
Anyways, I was like, I don't know if I want to kiss you. I don't know if I want to be you. It's very confusing for me.
I mean, I think that's a yes and moment. That's a bingo square, by the way. Remember we talked about covered dish bingo? One of the squares is yes and moment, because we say that a lot.
Do we?
Yeah, we do, and I love it.
I have to rewatch our old shows, and so do you, dear viewers. Thank you for tuning in, and if you're watching later, thank you for watching later.
Mm-hmm.
This has been Covered Dish. We're here most Tuesdays, some Thursdays. Keep an eye on our Instagram and our Facebook. We'd love to hear from you. Message us in the chat on Instagram, message us on Facebook, comment on any of our YouTube videos. We will check it out. If you have something you want us to cover right here on The Dish, I, tonight, am a hockey announcer, and I am getting very serious about all of our announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Eileen, any closing thoughts?
No, girl, I think you said it better than I ever could, so I won't drag it out except to say we'll see you next week. Bye.